What's up, guys? So, I'm gonna do 100 push-ups. Like always, it's gonna be like just a regular workout video. Cause to be honest, I wasn't even gonna make this video. I ate some food, like dinner, and then I went straight to bed for like 2 hours. And I woke up a couple minutes ago, and I was not gonna get up at all because I have to be up before. I have to be somewhere by 5 in the morning. It's like 9 something, almost 10 right now. And I just wasn't in the mood to work out, I'm not gonna lie. But then, I had those moments where I started questioning everything. I was like, this is the moment that matters the most. Like, this is that moment where it's like, okay, these are the times where you say you want to be somewhere by next year and you want to be in a particular position. This is what's gonna happen, where life tests you. Life is gonna judge how bad you want that. And it took me a while to get out of bed because I was really battling that shit. I was really battling the fact that I wanted to just go to bed, opposed to the fact that I really want to I want a career in this, Like, I want to be something that people can look at and say, he started from nothing, from scratch, and he went to whatever my end result is. He went from this to that. And I want people to look at that and say, so if he can do it, like, so can they, because they can. Whoever watches this, you can do it, because I'm going to show you how it's done. And that was like a thought that was in my head, man, because I was genuinely so tired. And I know it's just like, it would just be one day, but you got to think about, I've missed many other days. And in those particular moments where I miss those days, those are just times where I say, okay, I'll just skip today and then do it again later, but that becomes a habit. It becomes, you got to break that habit. You cannot let yourself get by. You can't let yourself just slide. So with that being said, I'm gonna just do 100 push-ups today so I could feel accomplished. I worked out a bit earlier off camera. I try to only record what I do at night when it comes down to working out, but I'm gonna do 25 right now. All right. All right. Yeah, man. So let's look, right? So we all want to be somewhere in life. I'm gonna do some sit-ups too in the meantime. We all want to be somewhere in life. We all have a depiction of the type of lifestyle we want to live. And I do too. I have my own, right? Like, I come from from a family that don't really have a lot of money. Like, I know I got some family members that have money, but that's just not my close family, and that's not my life. So I got dreams like the rest of us, and I'm putting myself to the test to do whatever it takes to get to those dreams. And, I believe a lot of people say that they want something, but they're never actually willing to do what it takes to get it. They'll do a little work here and there. They'll be inconsistent. They'll have times where they work their ass off, and then the next day it's just not the same as the day before. Like, they're just not doing anything. They're lazy. They're not like efficient. They have their ups and downs. And I feel like throughout time, they feel like they've been cheated or something. But it's like, if you go based off your track record of how often you work, it was like, some days you did shit. Some days you didn't. Some days you tried to do some shit and then you gave up. It's like, it's so unbalanced. And I feel like that's what was happening to me. Some days I put in a decent amount of hours. Some days I put in a lot of hours, and then some days I didn't, And I feel like that's just not the move. I feel like the best way for me to go about this is I put in my all, and it doesn't have to be every single day, but every other day at least, Like, don't half-ass shit whenever I do work. All right, so if I'm gonna work and I'm gonna say I'm gonna do something, then I need to put everything into it in that moment. And this is exactly what I'm doing right now. So I hope that makes sense, man, because I'm doing sit-ups right now, so it's hard to think and do these at the same time. All right, more push-ups. I don't know how many sit-ups that were. I don't care. Let me see. So yeah, bro, like, you really just gotta go. Like, you just gotta do it. Like, whatever you want to do, girl or boy, do that shit, man. Like, because what else are you gonna do, bro? Like, I really hate seeing people struggle. I really hate seeing people, like, struggle who don't have to struggle. Like, I hate seeing people who complain and wish things would change when they themselves can make that change if they really put in the work and the effort. I really hate seeing that, and I hate seeing that in myself. And every day is a battle for me, man. I swear it is. I feel like life has really put so much on me, and I'm not trying to be that dude who fucking complains about shit, because I'm not gonna say I love it, but I'm here for it. Like, put whatever weight on me, like, because I'm not gonna stop, you know? And that's the mindset you have to have. I'm not gonna fucking stop. There's been times where I wanted to give up. There's been times where I broke down into fucking tears because of how hard this shit was. And I'm not just talking about content. I'm talking about everything in general added up on me. So I'm not gonna fucking stop though. Like, I can't. Because if I stop, then what am I gonna do? Like, what else is there to do? Like, think about it. It's either your dreams or nothing. Because what are you gonna do if it's not your dream? So I hate when people give up on themselves, man. I really do. Let's go. I think that was 25. I'll do one more. All right. But yeah, bro. I think one of my biggest problems is appreciating myself, you know? I think that's a huge problem of mine. Like, the fact that I feel like I take my body for granted, you know? There's like people, I'm stopping sit-ups because it's gonna sound a little weird, but the carpet is giving my ass like a burn right now, if that makes sense. Oh my gosh. If I do crunchies, yeah, this is better. I feel like, you know, there's people, like, I saw this dude, I was in the city at the time. He was riding across the street in a wheelchair, and, you know, we were at a red light, but he had no legs. And, you know, there's a lot of people who laugh at some shit like that. But in the moment, I thought to myself, dude, I feel like if he had legs, he'd probably be, like, if he was just given legs one day, that dude would probably go crazy, right? He probably, I don't know, maybe not, but in my mind, I was like, he probably looks at other people like, you know, you guys are probably taking your bodies for granted, taking everything for granted. And, you know, I have moments like that where I think to myself, like, there's people who literally can't physically do the shit that I can, and yet I'm choosing not to do those things myself, although that I probably should be doing it, and although that I'm able to do it. Like, I'm sure that God would love to walk, love to run, and yet my happy ass is sitting down on my fucking bed for hours and not doing shit. There's times where I do that, right? And, you know, I'm not just talking about, like, having fucking legs. That's not my point. My point is, there's certain things in life that we take for granted that if it was taken away from us, we'd miss it. You know, it's like that whole saying, like, you don't realize what you have until it's gone. And that's something that just replays in my head all the time, man. Like, earlier when I was dozing off to sleep, I was like, I wonder if this is what it's like when you die. And I know it's, like, weird to think that way, but I'm just saying, like those last moments, like when you're just squinting your eyes and stuff. And I was like, if that's the case, then the death isn't that bad. But I think the reason that we're so afraid of death is because, You know, like I feel like once death hits, then it's just this life that we have is completely over, and there's no tomorrow, there's no in the future where we'll say that there's no future that we have where we could say in the moment, oh, I'll just one day I'll do something, you know, one day I'll get up off my ass and work on myself. It's like when death hits, then that's the moment. And I think that's why many people are afraid of death, because that's the complete ending. There is no tomorrow to say that, oh, I'm gonna do it tomorrow, man. Tomorrow's gonna be the day that I change my life. And I feel like we fear death because it's like once it hits, then there is no tomorrow. No, it's just is everything that you did is just over with. Like it's like everything that you did or didn't do is just too late now. You know, at least that's what I would fear death for. Like that's the only reason I would fear death, is because it takes away the opportunity to finally make change in my life. So it's like that's why we have to do this shit while we're alive. That's why we can't take life for granted. You know, because when death hits, and it will, unfortunately, or maybe fortunately, I don't know what death is like, you know, haven't really done it. But whenever it does hit, I would assume that there is no, you know, oh, next year's gonna be my year, you know? It's either it was or it wasn't. The moment was yours. If you let it slip by, it's your fault. But let's go. Okay. But yeah. I think I also have a problem with appreciating the progress that I make, you know? I think that there's a lot of things that I do now that I wasn't doing before and that I don't have to do right now. So I think it's cool to take time every once in a while, or probably like every day. Like I feel like when you go to sleep, before you go to bed at night, there's this video that I watched, and this guy was like, when the last 5 minutes of you going to sleep, you kind of go over the shit that you've done throughout your entire day, and based off of whatever your mind like goes through in those 5 minutes while it's analyzing your day, those minutes will probably dictate how you wake up. So if you feel like for the last 5 minutes you didn't really do shit with your day, and you feel like discouraged and you feel like shit, you feel like a lazy asshole piece of crap, you're probably gonna feel that when you wake up. But if you do things throughout the day that's like, you know, you hella proud and you accomplish things, like when you wake up in the morning, you're gonna feel those effects. Like I know that when I wake up in the morning, I'm gonna be satisfied at the fact that I actually did these push-ups. But it's crazy because in the moment though, I didn't want to get up out of bed. I didn't want to do this, you know? But it's not about what I want to do. It's about where I want to be in life in the next year or so, and how am I going to do that? Like what are the steps that I'm going to take to get there? Because it's easy to say that you want to be somewhere and you can think future tense and you can see yourself as whatever that is, because it's a fucking fantasy at that point. It's just a delusion. And then when it comes down back to reality, it's like you're not that though. And so you kind of become like you kind of cower away from it. Like, oh my God, now I actually have to put in the work for that shit. And it's like, well, yeah, you know, what did you expect, right? I don't know, man. People are fucking strange, bro. You know, I'm a strange person too. We think very interestingly. I think that we're under the impression that shit will just come to us, you know? There we go, guys. Anyway, I had a lot more to say, but my name is Jabril, and I'm happy that I did this workout. Whoever watches this, you should be happy that I did it too. And like I said, this is a start to a new journey, a new me, and by next year, who knows where I'm gonna be. So I look dark as shit right now, but thank you for watching these videos. I love you. Goodbye.